Morning. It's Jacob back with the daily shortcut, and boy, is it sunny out here. I think I'm going to take you inside here with my coffee. I just finished my mentoring session with my mentor this morning, and I'm really excited to share what he was talking to you all about. Well, to us about. I'm excited to share with you all what he was talking to us about. That's what I meant to say. Actually, if you want to hear what he was going to share, I'm going to link the video below as usual because it's something that I think will be very helpful for many of you. For me, I think he just explained how I actually healed myself from cancer in some sort of way, although related to business. I'll just take you guys to how it related to me. The name of the session this morning was Your Problem and the Miracle Solution. And, for me, this really brought up my personal life and what I've been dealing with since like 2012. And, some of you all know I had cancer. I have no evidence of disease at this point, which is pretty much a miracle. I had cancer that had metastasized. It came back a second time on an incision line exactly where the surgeon supposedly got it all. So it's, I've dealt with the shitstorm, I guess you could say. And for me, you could call that a major problem. I'm the person that required a miracle solution, and I guess you could say pulling out all the stops and praying and believing and doing everything that I possibly could to advocate for myself was what I needed to do. And you can't do that if you're focused on the problem, and the unique challenge about cancer is that, go telling somebody with cancer that they shouldn't be focused on the problem. That's pretty insensitive, and you might get smacked or kicked out of somebody's life, and perhaps rightly so. I had people say all kinds of horrible things to me while I was dealing with that, starting with my family, people telling me that it was my fault and why I got it and all that stuff. It means a lot, hearing that from your own mother and, people in your family that will, my brother and, people that will blame you for a disease. And I'm sharing a bit about this because there's something that happens when you keep yourself in toxic environments and people can pollute you. I alluded to this a little bit yesterday about the people that were speaking curses on me in my life and some of the effects that rippled out going forward, and why I choose to keep myself a certain kind of internally clean, mentally clean, and focus on solutions and things forward, and why my entire life is devoted to my spiritual path and journey that I explore here with you and that I share with you about daily now in this intimate way. And my coach, David, was talking about this in some really specific terms today, although he applied the principle, the technique that I used to help my mind, my body, my spirit, my energy heal from what the doctors were telling me I probably wouldn't live 2 to 5 years beyond. And here I am, writing a book with my doctors about the miracle that left me with no evidence of disease in my body after a stage 4 diagnosis, where they told me, look, dude, it sucks. Most people that get this, it's like 2 to 5 years we can keep them alive. And that's always tragic. However, generally they're in their 70s or 80s. And you, sir, are under 40, which I was at the time. I'm 40 now. So I know that there are things that can be done when we take our focus away from the problematic situations, and especially the negative dialogue. If you're like around people, things, and situations that are constantly chipping at you, constantly telling you that you're fake, that you're a fraud, that you're phony, that you deserve this, that should have happened to you, or telling you why your life is this or that, or whatever it is. This could manifest in different ways. I'm just kind of throwing out some things that I was used to hearing since I was like little. Things will happen, and that can even like manifest into pathologies that turn into diseases in people, because of the toxicity in the mind and how the body will then construct a dialogue that corresponds to what you're feeding and programming the computer, if you will. And so I love what my mentor was sharing today. He's the guy that he shared his homeless story yesterday. If you guys didn't see it, you should check out yesterday's video and click the links. He actually explains about what it was like, living in his van. And now he is a very, very successful man that actually helps people all over the world reclaim their lives. And he's helped, I think, close to 20 people make over $1 million in the past 5 years. And lots of other people that have just come up into hundreds of thousands and stuff just by adjusting things and working with techniques like what I'm sharing with you here that actually I have applied in my own life that helped me heal from a stage 4 disease, and being at the point where I literally nearly just gave in and gave up on my life because I didn't feel like I had better options. And when you have like your family and stuff chirping in your ear telling you why you should die and like how and like all this kind of stuff, sometimes you just kind of feel like you can give in to that. And there were just a few things that I was able to grab onto that worked, and this is one of them. So I like the way he'd explain something to me around setting goals. People talk a lot about here's what you got to do to solve your problem, write your goal down. And I'm like him, when I think of the word goal, half the time I see somebody missing like a free throw, or like, taking a shot and it's like, sometimes it's in, sometimes it's out. Somebody taking, a swing on a golf course, or, playing putt-putt, and it's like, sometimes it's in, sometimes it's out. So the thing with goals is that you don't always make it, right? How many times have you seen somebody try to take that shot and it's like, the crowd goes nuts. And so a better way to focus on something that you are planning on achieving might be to intend upon an outcome. And so, sometimes even just adjusting the words that we use, since all words carry an energetic frequency and can either harm others by the frequencies that are put out, or even heal others. And if you are unaware of this phenomenon, you might want to look into the work of Dr. Masaru Emoto. He has done an extensive work on the messages that appear in the crystals of water. And fascinating stuff. You might want to explore that. But focusing on the outcome is really a much more way to get that achieved, because the outcome is actually what happens. So one could say it might be a better term for what a goal is. And the other thing is that, if something's not working, putting yourself in a situation where all you can do is constantly be consuming, yes, it's not working, it's not working, it's not working, why it's not working, why it's not working, and focusing on why it's not working, it creates sort of a vortex of energy that has a momentum of its own that will just keep perpetuating that. Also talked about that in yesterday's video, so you might want to check that out too. So in some situations, you got to work with yourself. You can't always just remove yourself completely from situations, but in some situations, you can literally extricate yourself from whatever situation it is that might be toxic, where you are consuming negative garbage and dogma from people that are, just constantly feeding what's not working in your life. And if you can't do that yet, you can start in these little ways and graduate yourself out the process. because where you need to be dumping your energy, and I mean dumping it, and dumping it is into the outcome of what you're going to achieve, what you have already achieved in the future that you are focused on here completely, entirely, and here. And I had to do that to create certain results in my life, because otherwise I was literally ready to die. And then, surprise, surprise, the hospital actually killed me. They poisoned me with 4 different infections. I spent about 3 months in the freaking ICU. 5 people in my life outside of my family knew what was going on, because I had to keep it quiet. Because when things had come out the first time, I'll be honest with you, some of the shit that people will say to you when they find out that you have an illness or something, it's ridiculous. I've cut so many toxic things out of my life, including family members that have been disgusting and treacherous to me, because it was killing me. And I was literally dying. I was in ICU for almost 10 days, traveling through the death tunnels. And they had to remove my family from the hospital. Okay, so I'm not saying this to get any pity from you guys. I'm just saying that if you want to talk about negative bullshit situations that people can go through and live through, I was there being told that I might not make it. And some of my best friends were there checking in on me and helping take care of me when I could not even tolerate what was coming out of the mouths of my family, because I was on that point, the brink of death. And just from being in that point, all I can tell you is that I think I just knew I wasn't ready to die. I was almost ready there, and I was hearing it so much from people that were just ready to not be inconvenienced with Jakob anymore, that I literally could have just taken my last breath and been done with it. It's been almost 2 years now since that happened. It'll be 2 years in July, okay? And I look back on it now, especially, it's surreal after what I was just listening to Dave describe, because what he described from a business sense is literally what I did from a health perspective. And I haven't until now been applying it to my business. I've used it for my healing. I've used it for manifesting a beautiful love in my life that has been healing me in ways that I never knew I could be touched with healing, and I'm going to share it with you. Dave actually calls it memories from the future, and I'd never thought about it this way, but it makes a lot of sense, because if you understand how your brain works, and I've been explaining this, it's in some of the other daily shortcuts about your somatic mind and in your cells, and how your body interprets the data, whether or not your rational mind conceives it. And so this is worthy of exploration, especially for anybody developing mediumship. You might want to go back and check my developing mediumship video, because I kind of get into this a little bit here, and there's more information. If you click into the description boxes of my videos, I always link back the source of where I'm getting a lot of this information to help, but basically, your brain wants to run every probable scenario to work out a problem. And so it's if something's not working, sometimes all you got to do is just try something different, to break up the energy. And what he was saying is that what's really worked for him was standing in a place where, in his mind, mentally, he could see what was happening in the future, and then kind of writing himself a letter. And literally, that's what I did to call in my love and to call in my healing. I had written myself a letter, and I actually was just looking at it recently. It was about a week ago. I was just going back through these notes and seeing what showed up, and it has been amazing exactly how it happened. And I think that Dave helped me understand what I did. I don't think I really understood what I was doing at the time. I heard my guides, and they're like, get out a pen and write it down this way. And they had me writing things a certain way where I was literally writing it, having taken ownership for what had already happened. So I was literally future tense, standing in the future as the person who had been divinely miraculously healed from stage 4 disease, with best-selling book, with, his medical oncology team and surgeons and yada, yada, yada. And I started writing this down, and some of these things have yet to pass, so you know what to look for from me now. But I even had detailed around that same time what I was calling in from a love partner, and I'll just say it kind of surprised me when somebody showed up with all of the essentials in place with regard to her energy. And all these things can happen for you too. And right now I'm in the process of reorganizing how I write down my future, my memories from the future, standing from the future spot of me as the one who is in that position, and telling myself, Jacob, this is what you did to do it. Because my brain now is focused on what I did to actually accomplish the things that are in that letter to myself from the future. And it's exactly what I did in a slightly adjusted way with regard to my health and calling in a love partner. And I will just say that I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited because some of the things that I didn't even know would happen as a part of the process of me healing, okay? Because this is the only thing I can really relate it to right now from a personal standpoint. Just showed up. It's like resources that I didn't know would be available to me, and things that my mind was otherwise shut off to because I had been focusing on the problem. It was just what was there and what was being given and what I could see, right here in front of my face. When I focused on, nope, this diagnosis is merely but an example of the doctors telling me what I have already healed from, and setting my mind at that point, it was like it just gave a destination spot, and then the universe just filled everything else up with light. And they were like, okay, here's the path. And boom, brain went into probability algorithm mode, like Dave explains in his video. And, I hacked my way out of it. And it's like, now I'm in a position where even when I go see my doctors, they're like, we get to talk to our patients differently because of what happened with you. We were scared shitless when you came in, and it sucked having to talk to you the way we did. And now we have a reason to tell people that it's not crazy that they do all those things that you've been doing, that we've been double checking with your, oncology team to make sure it was okay supplementally, and with all of the other naturopathic things that I've been doing. And now I'm here with no disease, doing energy work on those who have. And I think the only reason why is because I'd focused on the outcome and taken the initiative to receive that which had not actually been walked through yet. And so it's kind of like a brain hack, it's hacking your brain. And if you understand how amazing you are and how beautiful your life actually wants to be for you, and you take these little initiatives, you can literally deconstruct whatever things have been blocking your path from that healing journey. And I'm a living testament to that truth. And so I'm believing in you today. I hope you have a beautiful day. I hope you take the time to click the link below too, because Dave actually does a great job explaining this and putting it even into maybe clearer terms. So definitely check that out. Hit me up if I can do something for you. And I've been putting it out there. If you're sick of your freaking job and you're tired of not being able to do what you want, click the link, fill out the form, put your phone number in, and I will call you. And I'll sit down with you, and we'll do a 30-minute consult and just check in on where you are. And if there's anything I can recommend to help you out, you've got my commitment in that way. So I'm going to leave you on that. It's Friday, and I've got to get to this Down and Dirty daily. And I know this one was a little longer, but this one hit me right in the special space. So, I hadn't shared so much about my life up until now about that, but now you guys know what happened to me. And there's actually more to that story, but you're going to have to wait for the book. So take care, and I'll see you again later. Bye for now.